Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show with me, your host, the Queen Bee, Dani. How are you feeling? As we chat this morning to the devilishly handsome, the fabulously wonderful, the incredibly knowledgeable Mr. Fidel Hill, the modern man. Good morning. Jodie Sol, good morning. Babs Reddy, good morning. Elise Woodbine, good morning. The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon, good morning, sir.
Shut up, for f***'s sake. Jesus.
The fantastic Lizzie Jackson Barrett, good morning. Josephine Sandra, everybody, good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Friday. Oh, look! Oh, no. There's me giving tips earlier in the week about how not to get lipstick on your teeth, and there's me rocking up to the show. Here you are, rocking up in our imperfection this morning. Top tip that I didn't do: how to not get lipstick on your teeth. Do this, like that. And anything that was going to go on your teeth goes here. But I didn't do that prior to the show because, you know, je suis une knobhead. But how are we doing? I hope you're all good. Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show. Shaky bums. It's Friday. We made it through another week of lockdown. You guys are incredible. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of everything that we are achieving. February is feeling fly. I don't know about you, but February definitely has felt better than January this year. Like normally, you know, we hit up January, we're all excited, and then it didn't quite happen this time, did it? It didn't quite happen in that, you know, we hit up January, and then we got kicked in the metaphorical dick, and then everybody was sort of a little bit low and a little bit flat, and I can see you all picking up momentum now. I can see you all, like, you know, it's like, you know, in Terminator 2, when the Terminator 2 guy like gets split in half and then he starts to mold back together. That's what I feel like we're doing now. I feel like we're molding back together. If you are watching along this morning, welcome to the show. If you are watching on replay, hello, welcome on the replay. Just because you are watching on the replay doesn't mean that you can't ask questions, doesn't mean that you can't interact. We do go back and check the comments through the days. Loads of exciting things have happened this week in IATQB land. You should have all received your email now telling you about Be Inspired. I dropped the announcement yesterday, y'all. I dropped the announcement. Be Inspired is on the 22nd and 23rd of April. It is the jewel in the IATQB crown. Normally it's an in real life event. Now, with it being in April, and it's already been postponed from September, with it being in April, we made the decision to bring it into the online space, but not just into the online space, but into an all singing, all dancing TV studio, 2 days, personal development, business development, in the comfort of your own home, but presented to you in a really slick, a really professional way, really engaging way. Of course, it's one of my gigs, so it's going to be an absolute scream, but I have got for you 20 of the best up and coming speakers coming to share with you all sorts of value. We've got everything from high ticket, we've got spirituality, we've got parenthood, we've got sex and relationships, we've got, oh God, we've got all sorts. My God, we're going to be doing speaker spotlights in the next couple of weeks. Once we've done Move Be, Get Out the Way, the challenge, which is at the end of this month. So there's kind of what's going on. But if you check your emails, it will give you details of how to get hold of your tickets. So tickets are £89, exclusive of VAT for the whole 2 days. You get lifetime access to that. And not just that. There's all sorts of juicy, brucey bonuses from each of the speakers that you are going to be able to get access to after the event as well. So huge stacks of value. Now then, I've got a little challenge for us. So for all of you that are getting tickets, you will be welcomed if you want to take part onto our ticket affiliate scheme, where you can get back the cost of your ticket and more. So for every ticket that you would sell as part of our affiliate ticket scheme, you get 25 quid back. So you only need to sell 4 and you get the cost of your ticket back. But then those people who've got tickets will be able to get the cost of their ticket back and more, because there's no cap on how many tickets we can sell. So I've got a little challenge in mind. I want this to be the biggest online event in our corner of the internet that we have seen so far this lockdown. And I am going for, let's get 1,000 people on this event. Let's see if we can reach 1,000 people for this 2 days of incredibleness. Now, it would only take 250 of us selling those 4 tickets each to get 1,000 tickets onto that event. And I'm thinking, can you imagine the impact that we are going to have as a community by being able to do that? So please let me know if you're going to be coming along to the event. You can watch it from the comfort of your own home. You get lifetime access to it. There's all sorts of bonuses from each of the speakers. And let me know if you're going to want to come and play with the affiliate scheme. With the affiliate scheme, we're going to run a competition with some absolutely banging prizes. I'm going live in the IATQB secret squirrel group later on today, about 7 o'clock this evening, to give you details of the affiliate competition. So this is open to all ticket holders. So whether you bought a ticket to the last one, if you bought a ticket to the last one and you transferred your ticket, you are eligible. If you have a ticket as part of one of my programs, you are eligible. If you are buying a ticket now, you are eligible to be a part of this incredible affiliate competition for the tickets. So that's what I put out there yesterday. That is what is sat in your emails this morning if you're on my email list. If you are not on my email list, you're going to want to be, because there's loads of stuff coming out into your inbox, just to kind of remind you of all the things that I keep telling you about. There's a lot going on, right? So not only do we have Be Inspired tickets have just gone on sale. They are going to be on sale right up until the day, but make sure you get, because I think we've got 1,000 cap. I want to see if we can max it out, and if we do max it out, then let's see if we can make it even bigger than that. Now then, and there's that. And then also on the 22nd of February, so not this Monday, the Monday after, in the IATQB Hive, we've got Move, Be, Get Out the Way, because it's February. We're kind of getting our mojo back together. I want us to be focusing on us, getting ourselves right front and center of our lives and businesses, putting the focus off of all of the things that are overwhelming us, where we're getting in our own way, getting back to our roots, getting back to what's important to us. So we're going to have a focus on that in our free challenge in the IATQB Hive, and that's the 22nd. All that week, we've got the challenge going on, the Move, Be, Get Out of the Way challenge. So you can sign up to that by going to imthequeenbee.co.uk/Move, Be, Challenge. All right, so I'm going to be telling you about that every day. I am sorry, not sorry. It is very exciting, and I know that it's going to change some of your lives. Some of the people that have been through the program itself are going to be sharing with us what their experience has been, because it has been pretty insane. Look at my cup that I got yesterday from the Sainsbury's. Sorry, it's a bit mucky. Hang on, I'm all right, mucky pup. Look at state. Wait there. Show myself up. There's already lipstick on my teeth, lipstick on my cup. Look at this. Good times are coming, and that's what I feel like today. So shake your bums, it's Friday. We are going to be talking about health and well-being this morning. As well, you know, I love to bring you a broad spectrum of conversations. Focus not just on business, but on your wellness, on your personal development, on your mindset as well. And today is no different. We've got a friend of the show on this morning and an OG IATQB member, who has been a dear friend of mine. Emma, are you ready? For almost 2 years now. That's crazy, isn't it? We've been to Amsterdam together. We've laughed together. We've cried together. We've hugged. We've drank. We've partied. But also, she has taught me a lot about health and well-being, particularly in the workplace. And that's what we're going to talk about this morning, because your workplaces right now, for the most part, are in your homes, and it's having a knock-on effect on our energy levels. It's having a knock-on effect on our overall health, and I thought it was timely that we brought somebody in to have a little chat with us about it. So Emma-Louise Fusari, are you ready? She is ready. Get on in here, you.
Woo! I was like, oh, I hope they can't hear me screaming in the background. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Woo!
She's ready. She's like Rocky Balboa backstage like this. She's having the best time. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us on the show, Rise Up Show once again. Emma-Louise Fusari, I am blessed and honoured to have you here with us. We've got some things to talk about today.
Yes, got lots to talk about today. And
We have lots to talk about.
Our well-being has never been as more important as it is now. It's taken a right pounding. We're still in this situation nearly a year on, so it's really important. I know you say that I give you lots of advice, but you never bloody listen.
I never listen. And that's why I've got you back on, because I need to kick up the arse. So if I need to kick up the arse, chances are a lot of you lot listening out there need to kick up the arse. So we are ready to receive this morning. We are hearts open, minds open, thinking about, why, or whilst we've been thrown into this particular lockdown. It really has felt, I keep referring to it as an ultra marathon. So when we first got thrown into lockdowns this time last year, can you believe this time last year? Or about this time last year, it was March, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When we got thrown into lockdown first time, we were sat within the unknown and all of the mental health implications of the unknown. So we've now been living in the unknown now for almost 12 months in this sort of stress state, this very strange state of not being able to be as free as we would like to be, being bound by the rules of lockdown, not being able to hug our loved ones. It's been a year for some of us since we cuddled our friends. And you know what I'm like, Ems, I do love a snuggle. It's exactly that. So we've not been able to do that for the last 12 months. So it started off with the unknown, and then it felt like a marathon. And then from a marathon, it felt like we did another marathon. And then from that marathon, we're now in ultra marathon territory, and we're all a little bit tired, and we're all a little bit over it.
Yeah. And I tell you something, I don't like running. I've got a fat, heavy head when I run, and and I don't like it. I'm more of a shake your bum kind of girl.
Yeah, like where can I go? I want to dance.
Zumba. Woo. I don't know the moves, but I'm just dancing. Woo. So I'm sure lots of people are feeling that they've got a heavy head at the minute.
Right.
And there's loads that we can do. And sometimes I feel like a broken record, but like you say, it's really important that message is there, because it's so easy to slip into our habits that are perhaps that makes us I don't like using the word lazy, but it just makes us choose the easiest option, and sometimes that easiest option isn't the best for our health and well-being. And when we're in the best of health, then we have more positive moods, we have more energy, that it shines out of us from the inside out, and it's really important that we capture that spirit again.
Absolutely. And the more that we look on the outside of this now, and I've even though I feel like I've been saying this for the last 6 months, I feel like we're peeping around the corner. People are being vaccinated now. We get to the 22nd of this month, there's going to be some announcements made, so at least we have some sort of flags in the floor of things to look forward to. Fingers crossed, like for example the schools going back, like for example things opening up again. At least then we'll be thrown into the known, which is much more comfortable than being in the unknown, which is kind of where we all have been for quite a while. That really takes a toll on its mental health. When our mental health is taking a battering, that really does inform subconsciously a lot of the decisions that we're making. So we're seeing a lot of workaholism, we're seeing a lot of alcoholism, we're seeing a lot of overeating for comfort or boredom, a lot of this sort of stuff, unhealthy coping mechanisms. For me, as well, it reflects itself in rampant workaholism, because I work out of my bedroom. Yes. So I'm like here and I'm thinking about work. I've got this in front of me as I'm laid in bed. I mean, and you'll be pleased to know that I'm moving. I don't know if anybody knew or not, but I'm getting a house in the next few weeks.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I know. I've kept it quiet. So I'm getting a house in the next few weeks, and thank God it's a bigger space than what we're in now. So it will allow me to shut the door on my work and get out of it. But that's been one of the really unhealthy coping mechanisms. I've been in the house, and I don't like being bound up or caged up. I'm like a tiger. So I've sat here. And I've absolutely gone for gold, but it's left me tired. It's left me stressed. It's left me in January with a bit of an issue with my heart because of that kind of stress that I have inflicted upon myself, because je suis un knobhead, as I said right at the top of the show. So with that in mind, Emma, tell us about what you do.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been a nurse for almost 20 years. I know I don't look old enough, but
You
yeah.
do not.
I know my eldest was 17 the other day. I was like, shut the front door.
How? Poppy turned 13 the other week. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm not old enough to have a teenager.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, yes, I've been a nurse for a very long time. And my background is in general practice nursing. So I've dealt with a lot of the issues that we all face. So chronic disease management, vaccinations, all the things that's in our life at the minute, grief, bereavement, people, going through domestic abuse. I know that's, really close to your heart. And
100%.
mental health issues, stress, anxiety, people needing signed off from work. And what I want to hammer home is that, us entrepreneurs or, business owners, we can't get signed off from work. If we don't work, we don't get the pennies in. And that's part of some of our problems with you saying, even closing your door, I'm in my spare bedroom, even closing the door and going downstairs, there's always an element of guilt.
Right.
I mean, oh, should I be watching the telly? I've got a to-do list, like wrapped up in a full toilet roll. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like,
right.
Do you not feel that guilt sometimes when even, and then you're working and then you've got guilt because you're not spending time with the kids, and then you're spending time with the kids and you've got guilt because, I've got more content I should be writing. It just doesn't stop. But actually, the more we stop, take a breath, and do what makes us happy, which is spending time with the kids for 10 minutes. After that, they're fighting and they're arguing, and you're like, this is not what I had in my head. I
was like, good family time. Let's do nice things. And like, she looked at me. She breathed the same air as me. She looked out of my window in the car.
Yeah, why are you saying that? You're being sarcastic. So in an ideal world, it's nice, like, the Monopoly board doesn't get flipped and stuff like that. But the more we take breaks, actually, the more we focus on our work, whether you work for yourself or for an employer, we're more productive.
Right.
And one thing I really advocate is the Pomodoro technique. Have you heard of that?
I have, but I doubt like the majority of our listeners and our watchers will have done. So I would love for you to talk to us about that, because I know it's really helpful.
Yeah. So what we tend to do as humans is we tend to multitask. And when we multitask, we end up doing things sloppily. We've not given it our full attention, and we're distracted. And, it's just never our best work. So what I suggest is the Pomodoro technique is, it's named after a tomato. It's Italian for tomato. And this guy, I can't remember, Francis, Italian name guy, Clique or something like that. He had a timer that was a tomato, and he devised this technique. So what you do is you pick a task that you need to do off your...
I thought I was going to say you pick a tomato. I'm like,
no, a nice juicy one. No, so pick a task, a juicy task off your list, and that's what you're going to do, that one task.
Yeah.
So you switch all your notifications off on your phone, you lock your door, no distractions, work on that task for 25 minutes. That's all.
25 minutes. Right.
Set a timer. You can get an app. You can use your stopwatch on your phone. I've even got the Pomodoro technique on my smartwatch, because
nice.
It really does work. 25 minutes, focus on that task, and then after 25 minutes, have a short break. Now, I only have a 5-minute break. Use that 5-minute break, stand up, stretch,
get away,
toes, walk, get a drink, non-alcoholic, preferably during the day, tea, water, not bottles of caffeine, please.
No, my God. Emma.
I was like, what is she doing? No wonder you got ticker issues.
Oh man! And so, did anybody see my post on my personal profile? So my personal profile is public, so a lot of you do follow it over there, and a lot of us are friends. But I went to the Sainsbury's last night to go and get Ivy some new earrings. She got her ears pierced for her birthday in October, and it's taken ages for them to heal because she fasts with them, and they're healed now. So we went and she wanted some unicorn earrings, so I went to go and get her some unicorn earrings last night. So I got them and I thought, oh, I'll get some of them little, turmeric shots that you can get, the little cold press shots, because they've got B12 and they've got they're good for you. And I thought, well, do you know what? I've got the HelloFresh to make sure that I'm having at least one good, solid, vegetable-y type meal a day that's home cooked from scratch. And then I've got these turmeric shots and I've got some vitamins, and I just thought of putting the right things in. And I went to like the health juice drink section that they have in Sainsbury's. They don't really have one anywhere. I've not noticed one anywhere else. And they have these turmeric shots. So I got them turmeric shots. I got some like gut health ones. And I saw this pretty glass bottle with some red juice in it, and it said liquid focus. Oh, I could do with that. It's in the health section, so it won't be like a Red Bull, will it? I can't drink Red Bull. I can't, because of my anxiety. I don't like drinking caffeine because it's like playing roulette. I'm either super productive or I think my life is going to fall apart, and there's no in between. Like, I don't just, it doesn't up my focus. It doesn't give me wings. It sends me into a spiral. And I have to remember 2-3 hours later, oh, I had a caffeine drink earlier. I get it now. I'm not actually going to die. We're fine. We're cool. What I didn't do is read the small print, and it was like having a massive cup of coffee. So I'm there in the car. I just necked it, like chugged it all the way. Oh, it's really nice. It's quite nice. I'll get another one. I won't get another one of them because your girl hasn't slept. What a dickhead.
Yeah, but we'll come back to that. But anyway, the Pomodoro technique. So 25 minutes, deep focus, 5 minutes, stretching, walking around, getting your steps up, getting some water or tea and whatever floats your boat.
Not rosé in a bottle like this.
Yay! Or my very small teacup.
That's a beast. I love it.
Yes. And then 5 minutes, that's all you take. Come back to work, do it again. Do it 3 times. And when you've done your 4th 25 minutes, take a longer break.
Right, okay. So it's almost like doing your morning, if you will.
Yeah.
So like your morning and then take a proper break.
Yeah, half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour. Then in that time, leave your desk, leave your workstation, leave your phone, get off of the tech, and do something, whether it's watching a crappy morning TV program, or reading a book, or yoga, mindfulness, whatever it is.
If you're me, getting in the car and driving up to your new house to see if they put another brick on it.
Yeah. Oh, they've moved that scaffolding pole from yesterday.
And they have. All the scaffolding's come down. The stone cladding's got up on the door. But this laughs because as soon as I get a break that's like 20 minutes and get in the car, because I want to be away from my desk. And it's the only thing that I could think of without just walking around the block, which I will have to do. That's going to have to be what I build in. But it's me getting away from my desk. It's not being on my phone, trying to get that focus.
Yeah. But like, I suppose what you're doing is you are looking at something that's on your goal
keeping my eyes on the prize. Yeah, exactly.
And then when you go back, you're like, this is why I'm focusing on this work. This is why I'm doing it, kind of thing. So just work like that. And the reason it works is because you're taking a proper break, you're hydrating yourself, you're not damaging your eyes by constantly looking at your screen or writing. But actually, when we finish a task, the sense of achievement is so great that we want to do more, and it makes us more purposeful. So that's, for me, that's something that's so simple. Mm-hmm. It gives you a bit of structure, but you get loads more done to it. I know that if I've got a shitload of things to do, that Pomodoro, it gets set on my app, and I'm like a workhorse and go through things.
It's a great tip. And for those of you watching, just to recap, setting your day out into 25-minute blocks and then take a short break. Once you've done 4 of those, take a longer break, and that way you're getting that sort of, and it frees up the bandwidth as well. And sometimes you might be in flow, and you might, what if, say for example, as well, I was an idiot last year. I decided to write a book in 3 weeks. And that involved a lot. Give me just 1 second. My daughter's waiting. What?
I've not been set any homework.
All right. We can wait till after the show, can't we? She stood there like this. I don't know what to do. She's not been sent any homework. I would be rejoicing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going to my mum about that.
Just get on with it. You're all right, babes. So, taking those breaks. Sometimes when you're in flow, what about when you're in flow and you kind of say if you're writing copy or if you're, I don't know, if you're doing something and you're just in it, what about taking breaks then? Would you still say to come away or would you work through? Or is this really for someone who's going to be procrastinating or feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah, I think if you're really in the flow of something and you're not being distracted, because this is the point, like we're all tempted to check our notifications on our phone or it vibrates and we move. And actually, I'll give you a fact. So the average person will check their mobile phone or mobile devices 58 times a day. And
check mine more than that.
Well, this is
your girl is an average.
Yeah, business owners, like I'm always like, oh, my husband's like, you're always on your phone. I'm like, it's for work. Do you know what I mean?
Work.
And it is. We're allowed to go down those leafy lanes. But yeah, the average person will check their phone 30 times during the working day.
Right.
Now the problem with that is that every time you are distracted, there has been research done, and that research shows it takes 23 minutes and 15 seconds exactly to get back into a deep focus.
Right.
So you could be working all day without a break, thinking, oh yeah, I've done 8 hours, and you keep checking your phone, and actually you've probably done like 2 hours work the whole day. So from that point of view, if you're easily distracted, the Pomodoro technique is really good. If you're doing something creative and the juices are flowing and you've found your flow, just keep doing it. But what I would suggest is, because it's really detrimental to be sat down and not stretching, is maybe stretch that to a 50-minute time period and then have a 10-minute break. Right. If you work better that bit. But it's important that you're drinking, you're standing up and stretching, and amazing. And go on, don't. I was just going to say, don't stop yourself if you're producing good work. But the brain is only designed to focus for so long before it starts.
Yeah, 100%. If we were living out in the wild, and excuse me, often we talk about this. I talk about this in my public speaking practice and all of this. If we were out in the wild, we would be behaving very differently. The focus is required, but it isn't required in the way that it is right now. So say our hunter-gatherers would go out hunting. Yes, that involves a degree of focus, but that's not for 5, 10, 15, 18 hours a day for some of us idiots out there who do this kind of, work from home or entrepreneurial hustle and grind. We're not designed to do that. And we wonder why people are burning out. We wonder why people's relationships are breaking down, because we're not looking after our whole selves. And just by allowing ourselves to take these kinds of breaks, and it's so hard when you're in your house. It's not so bad. Say if you're working in an office and it's like a 9 to 5 and you've got 15-minute break in the morning, especially like working in contact centers or things like that, your schedule breaks because an employer has to give you breaks. They do. So for the most part, we get those breaks. When you are employing yourself, we don't offer ourselves the same. If you imagine if we were under working law for ourselves, we'd be getting our there'd be unions involved with the way we treat ourselves, and the unions are there to protect people, to keep people healthy, to keep people's mental health protected, and all of this. Emma-Louise, Sam was just asking. Sam was on the show yesterday. He was absolutely fabulous. So if anyone didn't catch the show yesterday, please do go and watch that on the replay. It was a great show, stacks and stacks of value, just like today. What's your take on reading a Kindle or a mobile?
I think if that's your preference, like I am a paper girl. I like the feel of paper, like the smell of books. Even like for me, if I'm reading a research document, it's not good for the environment, but I'll print it out because online sometimes I don't absorb that information. I need to read it, highlight things and stuff like that. For me, it's really important that if you are using these devices, even with a book as well, that you're keeping an eye on your posture. Like I'm on my laptop now, so I'm it's all set up. My chair's
It's
set.
ahead of you. You're ergonomic.
Yeah, setting your desk up properly is really important. So you can see, but as soon as I go on my phone, I'm like this, and that this is when we start increasing headaches, eye strain, and things like that. So I don't think there's a problem on what you're using; it's how you're using it. I suppose it's like
How you use
like
it.
food, isn't it? It's not kind of what you're eating; it's how you're cooking it, or like that.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah, absolutely. No, it makes sense. Well, the thing is, if you are eating the donuts, if you're expelling the energy for you to, to let you eat the donut, you can eat what the fuck you want for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, your head is a heavy thing, and it's only on the pivot of your neck. It's only on the pivot of your neck. So if you're like this all the time, you're putting strain on the whole of the backside of yourself, and also you're not keeping tone in this side of yourself. So it all becomes sort of weighted in this direction. So you're quite right. And also, blue light is something that lots of people are talking about right now, of course, because people are spending so much time at their computer screens. Now, I'm lucky that Wallace thinks of these things when he buys the tech for the house. So this already has a filter on it. But if you've got like an old school screen, getting a blue screen filter in front, or even, I don't know if you've seen, maybe it's because I'm a glasses wearer, so it comes up in my my sponsored ads, but they started to sell, so I'm sure you'd love these actually, really super snazzy blue screen glasses that you can wear at your desk and help your eyesight to prevent headaches and what have you. And you could do that on your phone. Lots of phones now have blue light settings to alleviate some of that pressure. And it isn't as kind of fluorescent and in your face. I guess that's another one, isn't it?
I think if you're taking those breaks from technology, then it doesn't really matter as much. We could keep buying things till we're absolutely skin to it. There's so much out there for our well-being. Like I've got a relatively cheap riser for my laptop, 20 quid off Amazon or something. But you can use books. I've got a friend, she uses those mini ironing boards from IKEA. She uses that desk to rise a laptop. Put a cushion behind your back if you're not supported. Your feet should be flat on the floor.
Just put my feet flat on the floor.
Yeah, no, everyone does that. Posture, everyone sits up straight. But if your desk position is right, but your feet are still dangling, then put some books under it, or there's you don't have to spend a fortune to sort these things out. But going back to what you were saying about, it's interesting what you were saying about the hunter-gatherer. Stress was designed for those kind of people. Stress is good. Like that fight or flight response was needed. They needed to get on their tippy toes rapid if a saber-toothed tiger was coming, or a lion or whatever, to get you out of danger. But we're constantly in a stressful state. The way we live our lives now puts us in a constant stressful state, and how we deal with that is really important.
And our dangers don't necessarily kill us in the same way now.
No, but your stress will increase, for example, and we don't realize it's happening. So if you're walking down the road and someone's behind you and you think, they're a bit dodgy, then naturally we will cross the road. Because that's just part of the stress response to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we're crossing the road, looking out for cars, we get a hit of adrenaline to make us more alert, to make sure that we're not hit by a car crossing the road. So there's little things that we don't realise that are happening, and that happens every day when we are increasing our workload and when we're in a situation that we're not used to being in. And it's really important that we develop helpful coping strategies for that, and not unhelpful ones like you said, overeating, increase, alcohols and consumptions increased by 1/3 during lockdown. That impacts relationships. It impacts your productivity at work, your general feeling of wellness. Alcohol is actually the biggest cause of heart disease. And we think of the liver with alcohol, but actually it impacts on the heart. So there's loads of things that unhelpful coping strategies contribute towards. It's just how we deal with the stress, and we can't remove it. All these people join my workshop, I'm going to remove stress from your life. It's not possible. We don't want to remove all the stress. We need a bit of stress to keep us going. So yeah, so it was interesting that you said that, hunter-gatherer.
It is because we don't in many ways live in our instincts anymore in the way that our instincts were designed for. So for example, sleep, we're surrounded by light all the time, and yes, when we work in offices it's fake fluorescent lights, and that has an effect on our sleep patterns and has then effect on all sorts of things. And we are in this construct that the bit of our brain, the limbic part of our brain that isn't logical, the bit of our brain that reacts in a responsive way, that doesn't react to language, that reacts to the danger of a situation, it's in a constant state of alert because we're allowing it. And it's part of this waking up, and we talk about this waking up quite a lot on this show, Emma, where actually we talk about our instincts, we talk about getting back to ourselves, listening to our gut, but actually remembering as well what our bodies are designed to do in the first place, and trying our level best to listen to that. So, for example, understanding that during winter we have to manage our energies. We've got to think about that. I've got seasonal affective disorder, and tried to push through from October onwards, from October to March, really. I think that's why February, I always feel like I'm waking up again. But from October to February, it feels like I'm wading through treacle at the best of times. But our construct does not allow for our natural instinct to hold back a little bit because it's darker for longer. We're not as useful in the dark as a species. However, we've made it so that it's never dark anymore. So we're in that constant state of waking up. So when it comes to your health as well, it is that reconnecting to ourselves and reconnecting to our biology again, isn't it?
Yeah, I think as humans, we're never really taught to listen to our bodies and what it's actually telling us.
We're taught to mask it all. We'll take some painkillers, like paracetamol is the most readily, the painkiller is the most, sold drug on the planet. Hide and mask the things that your body is telling you so that you can push through, right?
Yeah. But we tend not to fix it. So, for example, people will be working and they will have backache, and they'll be like, oh, it's because it's new, or because it's this or it's that. No, you need to sort out what you're doing. Not like say not mask the problem. You need to stop the problem from happening. This is what I see in organizations with their wellbeing initiatives for their employees. It's all very reactive. It's all kind of fluffy shit that's up here. Our staff aren't productive. Let's provide them with yoga. Let's provide them with cycle to work or fruit bowls. But I'm sorry, I say it a lot, fat Bob in accounts, he's not going to put a leotard on and start doing yoga. He's not.
Fat Bob in accounts is an energy that I can get behind.
But and it's not about fatism. It's just like, I don't know. People can see the image then when I say it. It's to make it clear that it's fat Bob that's at risk of a heart attack or a stroke. It's fat Bob that's at risk of a mental health breakdown. And we got skinny fat people, and we could go on.
All of that.
So these initiatives are for Skinny Susan, but guess what? Skinny Susan's already healthy.
Yeah.
The problem, we're still paying lots of money, and all these things have a place. I'm not saying they don't, but we need to get to the root cause of a problem. We need to listen to our bodies. We need to understand what is causing something. We need to prevent it from happening, not treat it after it's happened. Prevention is so important, but we're just like, even when we know, we're just like, I'll just wait till I've
so that was all about the fat Bob in accounts live.
Everyone knows who I'm talking about when I say that.
Yeah, and is that person thinking about their wellness? And it isn't necessarily just somebody who is fat, by the way, everyone listening. It's just somebody who's not thinking about themselves in the way that possibly they could be in order to live in a way that is much more comfortable for them from a mental health, from a physical health point of view.
It's also tuning in to what's right for you, to what's right for individuals. We need to be more personalized when it comes to health and well-being, and what works for you and what works for me will be completely different. I get the sad thing, and it's it is a recognised mental health condition, but employers don't really clock that's happening to people. And for me, what I do, and because I'm a business owner, I have the freedom to do that. You know, people in employment don't. But I am a night person. That's just my body clock. Yeah. So I don't force myself to get up early, because I will be working till 8, 9 o'clock. But that's okay, because at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, if I was to just do a normal day, finish, have my tea, I'm sat on the sofa 6, 7 o'clock. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, like my brain's like, woo. Yeah. So why not?
Some people do work in different ways, don't they? You know, everyone's like cycles. It's interesting. It's a new moon today. And everybody knows that I really dig on the moon energies and all of that sort of stuff. I've been learning lots about it. And it's very interesting. The more that I learn about it, the more that I realize often the time that you were born, it's very strange, but the studies done on this, the time that you were born will often inform when you have your most energy in the daytime. And that's different for lots of people. Or
I was born at 4:10 in the afternoon.
Right, so it makes total sense. It makes total sense, and that isn't. It's a very sweeping statement. It's very broad, and I don't have the nitty gritty in terms of the actual study itself. However, people born. So when we talk about moon phases, for example, that people will look after themselves more in the run up to a new moon, on the dark side of the moon, and when it's the full moon, we're feeling like the most energy or what have you. But actually, depending on what moon cycle, what point in the moon cycle you were born will dictate how you feel and when. And I find it fascinating, but people's awake cycles and creative cycles are very differently, and it's well worth, for those of us that are entrepreneurs, to track that within us. When do you feel most creative? When do you feel sleepy? Is that something you can change? And there's lots of sleep coaches and what have you, and we do have them on the show out there that can sort of talk to us more about this. But I just find it fascinating, all of our different rhythms all at different times.
Well, I could do a whole other show with you, because I absolutely love Brian Cox. Learning about the universe.
Man crush.
Yeah, and learning about the universe, and like we're just such. Well, first of all, I think, oh my God, like why are we even here? We're just like a speck of dust on this whole. Like, what is our purpose here? Like, it's just we're so minute in the grand scheme of things. But then there has to be something that makes us so unique to all the other planets in the solar systems. And when you look at the moon and the sun and stuff, there's a reason why we are so in tune with that, and the gravitational pull. It's got to have effects on our well-being. But anyway, I'm going all woo now.
I know, I'm a here for the woo as well, But yeah, like we were saying, like the last full moon, and also it's the Chinese New Year as well. So gung hei fat choi to anybody that is our Chinese listeners. We have got so that's the 2 weeks. So that begins at the new moon, which is today, and then finishes at the full moon. It's the first kind of full moon cycle in the calendar, which is a time of abundance and fabulousness. It's the year of the ox this year. In just kind of as a little bit of an aside. So we had the Pomodoro technique today, talking about doing 25-minute stints, taking a break. Once you've done 4 of those, taking a longer break. Have you any other top tip other than get the fuck up and move and give yourself a little bit of break before we part company again for today?
Yeah, so looking at after your digital well-being is so important. It's the only way we're connected with work at the minute. There's no face-to-face. And then when we come off from using tech for work, we're using it for our personal life. So it's really important we're aware of how we're using our tech. So whether you're an Apple or an Android user, there will be digital well-being apps on your phone where you can track if you're one of those people that are opening your phone 58 times a day. Yeah, how many notifications you've got. If you start doing the Pomodoro technique, there's buttons on your phone where you can just hit do not disturb. You don't have to program it or anything like that. So stop those notifications. Be purposeful. So if you are going on, and I'm the worst for this, so I go on, I'm diabetic, type 1 diabetic. I've got a sensor on my phone. I go on my phone to check my blood sugar, and then
can you do that on your phone?
Well, because I've got a sensor, I've got a magical device. Yeah. And then the results go to my phone. So I go on my phone, and 3 hours later, I've ordered 2 jumpers from online shopping. I've ordered paint for the bathroom.
Amazon one click, sponsored ad, they've all got you.
I've been on LinkedIn. I've done that. I come off. I go to make a cup of tea, and then I'm like, oh, what was my blood sugar? So when you're using your tech, be purposeful. Go on and do it. Like, imagine even how we use our computers. Imagine your computer is all on your desk on paper, like the olden days.
Right.
Like, how messy would it be? So when everything's neat and tidy, you're using your time more productively. So be purposeful, and work smarter, not harder. So emails, social media, schedule things. If that's your job, you can even schedule emails. You don't have to be writing one at a time. There's all sorts of tech that you can use. We looked at multitasking kind of with the Pomodoro technique. Power off. So get outside, connect with nature, but don't take your phone with you. Perhaps if you're listening to some mindfulness.
What if you want to take pictures of all the beautiful nature and not just want to be in it? I'm like, oh, look at that tree. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that house.
Yeah, but that's the point. You should be in it. Like, we don't have to. We don't have to share it with the world. It's for our own. Like, I've stopped when I used to be bad when I used to go to music concerts, like filming it and taking pictures, and then I was like
experiencing the whole thing like this. And you might as well be at home.
I spent all this money. I could just wait for it to come on Sky Arts and watch it then. Do you know what I mean?
Now we've got no choice
with it. Yeah, I know, and enjoying it. So it's things like that. Device-free zones. It's really. I feel like Martin Lewis, when he's like giving those quick, rapid top tips.
I'm here for it. Like, we're here. We're like,
device zones. We're all working in.
Don't take your phone with you. Give me a little panic probably means that you should not take your phone with you. Nomophobia, the fear of being without your mobile phone is a real thing and affects approximately 70% of the phone owning population. Yes. Isn't that insane? Nomophobia.
I'm not surprised there. So regardless of where you're working from home at the minute, having a device-free zone is really important to escape.
Right.
You stuff probably shouldn't be in your bedroom, Dani, but we all have to do what we can do.
I'm running my empire from my bedroom. That will change that. I'm very excited. And that isn't something that I've thought about, actually. I mean, having a device-free zone in the new house, actually setting that up to say, here, when I'm in this space, I am only connected to myself, or I'm only connected to the people that I am within that space. I think that's a really healthy thing for us to consider, and certainly something, when you say that, certainly something that I want to give some consideration to when I get in the new house.
The kids need it as well. The kids are so absorbed in tech and things as well. What's happened to the old games room, or the
reading corner.
It's make sure that you just not got all these notifications. And the always on culture is really detrimental to health and well-being. Social media, if it's bringing you down, if it's negative, get the fuck off it. Do you know what I mean? It's just like all this negative news and stuff like that. There's we talk about food for the soul. Well, we should be doing that for our brain, and social media for me most of the time doesn't bring any positivity into our life. So
it's like an obesity thing, isn't it? We're over consuming, and it's very, very quick. TikTok's perfect example. We are consuming things in 15-second stints now, and if we're not getting information delivered to us within 15 seconds, it's making our brains lazy. We're not having to work anything out. We're having that information delivered to us very, very quickly. But I think there's a lot to be said for this, to disconnect, to reconnect, and it's so interesting, like you say. So looking at our digital health via an app, almost ironically, but looking at our digital health is really one of the huge steps that we can take right now, as well as taking those breaks, making sure that we're looking at your posture and stuff. So you with your business, Ems, you work predominantly, don't you, with corporate businesses to help them supply their staff with wellness packages that make sense, that they can engage with. It isn't just yoga on a lunchtime that that will only engage a few people. And it's phenomenal work that you do. How do we find out more about that?
So you can go onto my website, which is inhousehealth.co.uk.
I love it. I got the same with my show. I'm like, follow me here, come and join here.
Hey, how on B Brand am I today?
I love it. I love it. I'm here for it. Thank you so much for being on brand this morning.
And yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn. I do most of my stuff on LinkedIn.
Makes
and
sense.
yeah, we use a data first approach to improve health, well-being, and financial outcomes for predominantly tech companies, but our service works for any company. And we use that data to really strategize and implement relevant initiatives that are going to help Fat Bob.
Hashtag say Fat Bob.
Those things. But what I want to leave you with one thing is that it's not all doom and gloom. You know, we can really focus on the negatives. You know, this isn't supposed to be negative at all.
Not
but
at all.
actually, working from home really suits some people. That, you know, you're saying about going into the office and stuff like that, that's not for everyone. The extroverts will be really missing that. They'll be throwing themselves into work. They'll have all these
girls climbing the walls.
Yes.
I've created a whole world online because of this.
But the introverts in us that love our own little corner of the world, that are really excelling, and it does worry me that when we move into a hybrid way of working, that actually there's going to be a lot of unconscious bias about who's being seen. You know, is Dave in the office? And he's in 4 days a week. Is he going to be considered promotion more than someone who's at home with the kids and wanting to work? Just because he's being seen doesn't mean he's delivering better work.
The dynamic is going to be very interesting. I feel like we're going to have this like roaring 20s situation as well. I feel like a bit of hedonism like on the horizon. And do you know what? Emma-Louise Fusari, I'm absolutely here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Thank you so much for coming back onto the show. You are always welcome to come and share these things. I think now again, when we do have guests on the show, it just always feels so right and pertinent and relevant. And right now, when we've been running this ultra marathon, just like rechecking in with ourselves, how is our work environment serving us? How are we serving ourselves? And your wellness is definitely the number one place to be placing that focus, because life is business. Life is business. Business is life. And we just bloody love you. Thank you so much, Emma-Louise Fusari from In-House Health. Love you. Oh, wait, don't go. Stay there. We've got pose. Because we didn't do this yesterday. We didn't pose for the Instagram. So what I want you to do, if you're watching, I want you to take a screenshot in just a second of me and Emma. I want you to go to Instagram and tag us in your stories at the Queen Bee. Dani, what are you on Instagram? In-House Health.
In-House Health 1 or something.
In-House Health. Right, are you ready? I'm gonna do this.
Badge.
Can I see? I can see a badge. You got. Look at the state of this now. Wait there. Talk amongst yourselves, you lot. Hang on. Wait a minute. Let us get prepared. Let us get prepared for the shoot.
My badge says be kind.
I love it. So this is good times are coming. If I tilt it like that, we can all see. I'm going to do a little pose. You're going to do a little smile. After 3, you lot are going to take a screenshot and post it to your stories and tagging at the Queen Bee, Dani, and Emma-Louise Fusari at In-House Health. You ready? 1, 2, 3, smiling. Until it gets dead awkward like that.
So get face freeze.
Please do. We've been tracking our Instagram growth over the course of the week. I think we've got about 55 new followers this week. We are slowly but surely edging towards 10k. It is at a snail's pace at the moment, but the more that we do things like this, hopefully we get that swipe up, so that when we do the show, we can swipe up and send people to your website. So when people do tag us, we can do a cheeky little swipe up, and it serves everybody. Emma, thank you so much for joining us. I love you.
Can I just say one more thing?
Of course you can. Please.
I'm also involved with the fabulous Wellbeing Lancashire. So anyone that's in the Northwest, or if you're national, that's fine. But we have the kindest campaign going on at the minute, and now more than ever, it's so important to be kind. And the kindest has acronyms. So we have a toolkit. So if you want it for your workplace or yourself, you can become a kindest ambassador for free. Our mission is to make Lancashire the kindest county in the UK, as well as making it a top priority. I'm one of the directors of that. So if you want to get involved, then go look on wellbeinglancashire.org, or you can email me at emma@inhousehealth.co.uk, and I'll send you the Wellbeing Lancashire stuff. Be kind.
That is a whole nother show's worth of content as well. You know, kindness is one of the IATKB core values. So yeah, would love to know more about that. Emma-Louise Fusari, I will see you soon. Take care. Hugest love to you. Friend of the show, Emma-Louise Fusari from In-House Health. I hope you found that helpful this morning. Looking after ourselves needs to be our top priority. There is no business without you. There is no you without looking after you. So huge love to all of you. Sending you all a big cuddle this morning. Make sure you get your Be Inspired tickets. Make sure you get signed up to Move Be, Get Out the Way. There's free challenge in the IATQB Hive. Go to imthequeenbee.co.uk/Move Be Challenge. Get yourself signed up. We've got loads of prizes up for grabs. I've seen my inbox has been going mad this morning with people buying Be Inspired tickets and also signing up for the affiliate program, where you can earn back not just the cost of your tickets, but there is no cap on the affiliate scheme, so you can earn yourself a little bit of wedge just by sharing the Be Inspired message, just by sharing the tickets. Now then, we will be back next week. I have got some incredible guests for you. We're getting a skip next week. I'm going to be throwing stuff away ready for the house move. Very excited for that to be arriving on Monday. No doubt I'll be charting that in my stories and sharing with you the great big throw out before we move away, or before we move into the new house. I'm very excited about that next week. But I've got some banging guests for you next week, including celebrity stylist Stevie B on Tuesday. So please don't miss next week. Set a little reminder for yourself. Make sure you're following us at the Queen Bee Dani, not just on the Instagram but also here on Facebook, to get notifications of when the show goes live. And in the meantime, have a lush weekend, have a lovely Friday, shake your bums, celebrate. We've got through another week. You guys are incredible. I love you, and I will see you Monday at 9:30 for more Showing Up, Wising Up and Rising Up Secret Squirrels. I'll be live at 7 p.m. to give you more details of the affiliate ticket competition. I'll see you later.